Marambe, what are some of the welfare issues affecting engineers?
Thank you, Namano. I want to look at engineers as a career that you start actually very early. You start it. You get ambitions to become an engineer in high school, but your real engineering starts actually when you join university. And you'll notice that most of the time you have students who are studying engineering from various backgrounds, even at the university. And one of the challenges that faces the engineering student is opportunities to learn in the industry. Sometimes they have financial challenges, and also they get a challenge in getting opportunities to work with experienced engineers, or to even get firms that can employ them during the attachments and all that. So some of those issues are really tough for engineering students. And then after graduation, you also get the engineer graduates, and he needs to focus on so many things. He needs to get a good earning. He needs to grow in terms of his career, in terms of gaining another advantage in terms of certifications. He also needs to grow in terms of getting real experience in engineering in whatever he studied. And sometimes you don't get enough opportunities for them in that area.
Yes.
And the other thing is when you look at opportunities for growth, sometimes you find like we've left very little opportunities for engineers to join engineering. So you find us losing engineers to even other paths in life, like they will go into banking, into finance and all that. So we really need to work on that and see how we can bring them back together. The other thing I will say, as engineers, we've been lacking, especially in this country, is that unity and the unity of purpose, so that we can be able to guide and be able to influence how the society treats us, and how we also get the opportunities in the industry. So we've had for a long time the two bodies, Engineers Board of Kenya and the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I will say they were not very proactive, but we've seen a lot of changes in the recent years in terms of now we are seeing a lot of unity. Even when you go to IEK events, in the last 3 years, we've been attracting more than even 500 engineers in our conferences. So it means now engineers were coming together and we are having conversations. The next stage will be how we can now translate this unity that we're building to actually influence some of the issues. My co-speaker today has pointed out, like how do you influence the scale of fees? How do you influence earnings in public service? The scheme of service. How do you influence the rates for contractors? How do you influence how we protect opportunities for local engineers, whether you're as a consultant, as a contractor, or even in employment? So apart from that, there's also the other issue of as in engineers ourselves, under the associations we have, are we able to come up with schemes that can actually assist us ourselves, and come up with strong associations that touch on other issues, like benevolent issues, like coming up with a very strong circle where an engineer, you can actually, sometimes you can win a job and you're not able to finance it. So can we come with an institution that can be able to support the local engineers? Because you'll realize sometimes that is also where you fail. You get an opportunity, but you're not able to fulfill. The other thing is on continuous professional development. I think now EBK and IEK are working closely to see how we can come up with programs that actually add value to engineers in terms of knowledge, in terms of you gaining and learning about a new thing that is happening in the industry. We don't want to just have programs where you are going to gain CPD points. No, it needs to be something that you actually get value for your money. So basically, I think these are some of the things that have been going through my mind, and I'm happy that the workshop is taking this opportunity to actually discuss these issues, and we can be able to influence. And I was at the conference in 2018, 2019, and even 2021. We had like this year we had a session where we had engineers who are in politics, and how Engineer Gumbo really he gave a talk on how they've been able to influence by them being in parliament, how they influence some of the policies that are going to really affect engineers. You saw what happened with bills in the road sector. Lawyers, accountants, they want to come into our space. How are engineers going to affect the situation by being there at the front and speaking and influencing? And this is something engineers have not learned to do. Even when you get bills and all those stages affecting something that is going to touch on engineers. I think this is something that we need to be vocal about. So thank you, and back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Engineer Marambe, for that.